in my personal opinion, not only is this one of the best comic book films of all time, but it's pretty much one of those animated films of all time. This thing is a work of art, the sequel to the 2018 Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Main plot starts off with Spider-Gwen in her universe doing her little intro. She has to take on a variant version of the Vulture, who looks like he's from old Leonardo da Vinci times, and Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, shows up to assist, and she gets recruited to the Multiverse Spider Team, and she goes off with them. And it's been a couple months later, fast forward, and we're picking up with Miles. He's been Spider-Man for a little bit now. He's working with the police. He's established. Everybody in the neighborhood knows him. He's got a hold of his powers. He's no longer the newbie. And he's dealing with the usual Peter Parker issues, dealing with school, juggling between that and being a superhero, like usual. Struggle session all the damn time. And Gwen shows up at his freaking front door and invites him to hang out. And basically shenanigans ensue because she's not just there to see him. She's there to see a villain called the Spot, who's pretty much a joke character. He's actually one of the scientists from the original movie that gets hit in the after effects of the gamma radiation machine that the Kingpin built. And now his body is basically portals. And what starts off as just, a joke character where you could just portal turns into multiversal level Thanos Infinity Gauntlet horseshit. And they have to try and stop him, and they fail in doing so. And he goes into another universe's collider, and now he's super uber powerful. But he kind of disappears after the first 20 minutes of the film. And then basically Spider-Man follows Spider-Gwen. Miles Morales follows her into the multiverse, and you get to meet Indian Spider-Man in his universe, and it's probably one of the best sequences in the movie. The city is incredible. The action sequence that follows is incredible, and he's actually a really cool character. I hope they bring back Indian Spider-Man to the thing. And you just start getting introduced to all these other Spider-Men that get brought in to help with that situation. Spider-Punk is basically a British anarchist, punk rock guy or whatnot. He's pretty cool. He's actually done an animation style, multiple different styles of animation within one character. It's pretty weird. It's like newspaper, hostage letter clippings or whatnot. Of course, Spider-Man 2099, is he the bad guy? Is he the antagonist? No, he's actually Spider-Man who went to another multiverse to replace that Spider-Man, but unfortunately it caused an event which is called a continuity event, which has to happen. A certain person has to die, and if that doesn't happen and you mess with that universe gets erased. That's basically what happens, and that's basically the plot of this movie. In doing something, Miles basically inadvertently affected the continuity event, and now that universe is being threatened to be destroyed, and Miles himself is a variant that shouldn't exist because the spider that bit him came from another universe, Earth 42, and basically it just goes into hijinks from there. They go back to the multiverse cathedral universe, which is basically like Blade Runner. You meet every single Spider-Man ever drawn in a comic book or ever done in an animation film. You get Ben Reilly, who's from the hated Clone Saga from the 80s. He actually gets redeemed in this. He has an inner monologue like Austin Powers out loud inner monologue thing is pretty funny. Spider-Man T-Rex. We have a Tyrannosaurus Rex Spider-Man. It's as ridiculous as it sounds, but actually it's pretty cool. There's also a kitty cat Spider-Man that's actually pretty funny. Spider-Buggy from the old 1960s cartoon show and also the comic books. It looks like something out of Hanna-Barbera horseshit. Peter Parker does show up. He's got his daughter along, Mayday Parker. He's basically a joke character. He's not really anything serious. He's just there for comic relief. Why he brings the kid along, I don't know why. Mary Jane can raise the kid while he's away doing superhero shit. Spider-Man and freaking 2099 come to blows because Spider-Man wants to go back and do something, and he can't do it because that'll affect the continuity event. And it's basically a long-ass chase sequence involving every single Spider-Man. It's a feat of animation that probably took 3 years to animate because that was ridiculous. And eventually, Spider-Man ends up back in his own universe, or does he? And he comes face to face with the Prowler. Didn't we deal with him in the last movie? Well, we thought we did, but this is a different universe, different Prowler. It's a variant, and it ends up being a twist of an ending that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it does drag on a little bit. This freaking voice acting in this thing was amazing. I liked all the characters. It's a bit too long though. It's at 2 hours and 20 minutes. Could have been cut down a little bit. But this thing is still legendary status. I think it's the best Spider-Man movie, and it's definitely top 2 of all time with Spider-Man 2. Must watch. Go check it out.